This is Powerboat Television, and that sweet sound you're hearing is Sudbury, Ontario's own Larry Barrio. And that is exactly where we're headed this week for Larry's annual Barrio on the Sandbanks concert on beautiful Lake Wanapitei in northern Ontario. When most people think of Sudbury, they probably think of mining. The city's been one of the world's largest producers of nickel, zinc, lead, and gold for more than 100 years. But it's also home to this guy, Larry Barrio. Larry's been touring the country for close to 2 decades, singing about things like snowmobiling, ATVing, and just generally loving life. Now he's invited us up to help him do just that at his free, one-of-a-kind boat-in concert on Lake Wanapitei. If there's a better place to watch a country music show, I haven't found it yet. To get there, we're going past the Big Nickel, past the Inco Superstack, deep into the heart of God's country. It was an effortless trip up to Wanapitei First Nation, to Rockies, our home base for the next few days.
We are a full-service marina, restaurant, gas bar, convenience store. We're open 7 days a week currently.
They also have a bunch of cabins and a trailer park, which is handy because it can get pretty busy here all year long.
During the winter on the weekends, we have about 200 to 300 sledders from the States and everywhere. They come in from all over. The summer is all the boaters, the fishing on the lake, and going to the sandbanks where you guys will be going tomorrow.
And this is Rocky, the Rock Ness Monster. And according to Wanapitei First Nation legend, he lives in a system of caves some 460 feet below the surface of Lake Wanapitei. And they say on a calm day, if you keep your eyes peeled, you might be able to see his tail splashing above the surface. And who knows, maybe that's how Larry Barrio will ride in when he comes to rock the sandbanks in a couple of days. For now, he's riding with us to show us all around this big body of water, which can be a monster in itself. Sudbury is home to over 300 lakes, more than any other city in North America, and Wanapitei is its biggest. In fact, it's the largest lake anywhere in the world that's completely contained within the boundaries of a single city. Named for the Ojibwe word for tooth-shaped water, it's 14 kilometers across at its widest point, and that means waves can whip up quick. Thankfully, our Princecraft Vectra 21 was up to the task. And with the sport configuration, the Vectra is a beauty. A third log for extra stability, lifting strakes for better handling, and the underdeck spray shield stops waves from slamming up onto the bottom of the deck. The perfect ride for cruising the lake, and it'll make one heck of a luxury box for the concert. With Larry and a couple local guides, we set out to explore a little bit before the show. Just down the shore from the sandbanks at the far northwest corner of the lake is the mouth of the Wanapitei River. Deceptively wide, the river's flooded by a hydroelectric dam at the other end of the lake, so there's a narrow channel that has to be followed to avoid running aground. We snaked our way up a couple miles before we found a good bay to drop a line in. How much influence does being out here, being outdoors, fishing, boating, all that kind of stuff have on your music?
A lot, and that's pretty well generally what I write about. Wrote a lot about, gearhead stuff. My song Rocktown is dedicated to the miners.
Yeah.
My dad was a miner, and uncles and friends and all that kind of stuff. So I like to write about kind of like that blue collar type
For
person.
sure.
That
Stuff that people can relate to.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You got to come up with new marketing ideas to market yourself as an artist. And that's why we do the Sandbank show.
I was gonna say that must be where the sandbanks comes in.
Exactly.
So before a concert, do you feel like you have to wind down and relax at all? Because this must be just about as good as it gets for you.
Well, this was nice and relaxing, I got to tell you. Before I do a show, any show, you always get those butterflies before you play, and they say when you lose that, you're not passionate about it anymore, right? I have my traditional little shot of Grand Marnier before I hit the
There
stage.
you go.
That's something that I've done with my dad over the years, and ever since I lost him 4 years ago to cancer. I don't know, it's just kind of like a little cheers for me, a little tradition. And
For sure.
I think of my dad there every time I hit the stage, and then usually I'll meet up with the guys in the band and pump each other up, and let's rock the house.
Hearing about the show got me so excited, I didn't even mind that we didn't catch any fish. Not that it was our fishing guide Pete's fault, of course.
I said I'd promise you a good day, but I wouldn't promise you any fish. You can't force the fish to bite.
We hugged the shoreline, sticking to its dozens of calmer bays until we got around to the sandbanks on the north shore. Quiet now, but tomorrow, this is where it's all going down.
So this started off 4 years ago. This is our 4th year doing it. And it was my wife's cousin, Lori. And they live up at the other end of the lake up in Skeed. And her and her husband took us out in a boat. She goes, Lair, she's got to bring you to this place called the Sandbanks. And I said, I'm familiar with it, but in the wintertime, I snowmobile on this lake. And we came up here, and this is just absolutely spectacular because you can walk out about 100 yards and you're still waist deep. We got a barge donated to us from Rockies, and we bring up the barge right up as tight as we can to the sandbank and secure it so we're not bouncing around in the waves and everything. It's just been growing and growing every year, and this year we're probably anticipating a couple hundred boats.
That's awesome, man. I'm psyched. I'm glad you brought us out.
Well, thank you very much. I'm so excited you guys are here because we're going to have one heck of a good time.
Exciting. Coming up later in the show, Larry takes the stage, and he brings along a special guest. Back on Lake Wanapitei in Sudbury, Mother Nature has definitely cooperated for Larry Barrio's concert today over at the Sandbanks. Loaded up on the barge that would double as the stage, Larry and his crew made the 2.5-mile ride from Rockies to the Sandbanks to set up the morning of the show. Larry had warned us the turnout would be impressive, and sure enough, plenty of time to go before a note was even played. Already, boats were rafting up in front of the Sandbanks. Larry told us this whole idea came from his cousin Lori, who has a cottage on the other side of the lake. She thought the Sandbanks would be the perfect spot for a show, and Larry would be the perfect guy to play it.
I think it's just because people can get out of their boats. I like that everybody can go up to the stage, be here, be involved in your bathing suits. Like, what kind of concert do you do that in?
Doubled, I think, just in terms of popularity this year, so it's really awesome.
Being able to watch him while I'm having fun in the water, like, it's such a nice day and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the performance.
One of the coolest parts about this concert, besides the obvious, of course, is that Larry puts on the show completely free of charge for the folks who make it out. So along with the sponsors who help make it possible, this year he collected contributions from the fans in the form of raffle tickets. Larry announced that one lucky winner would be cruising home with a pretty sweet door prize with a familiar logo front and center.
For a small donation from every boater, we're going to give them a ticket, and you get a chance to walk away with this beautiful custom electric guitar. Special thanks to the Guitar Clinic for doing this for us, man. This is awesome. Our 4th year running. Somebody's walking over this baby.
This is a telecopy, and the good thing about it is it's really appropriate because it's seafoam green. It's got Larry's logo on the front, it's got my logo on the back. Whoever wins it is going to walk away with a real prize.
After Larry's announcements, it was finally time to rock.
Put in a long week, sweating in a factory, swinging that hammer, plowing them fields, pushing that pedal down, making an honest living. They keep taking, you keep giving. Well, this is Friday night, this is our time to let it all hang out. Cut the dust, kick off the rust like a cowboy does at the end of the day. With long neck bottles and whiskey doubles, come on, saddle up, cut the dust.
Larry puts on one heck of a show. By the time the band went on, there were more than 200 boats in attendance. Absolutely nuts. Don't believe anyone who tells you this wasn't one of the best parts of their summer.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the ticket number 872103. We got a winner over there. Look at this guy. Hasn't got off the pontoon boat all day, and he just did a complete cartwheel off of that damn thing to get a guitar.
So with that, Barrio on the Sandbanks 4 had come to an end, and it was everything it was billed out to be. It's amazing the kinds of experiences boating can bring.
Larry, holy smokes, man, you know how to do it.
I'm still coming down, you know. Yeah, it's gonna take me a couple hours.
Oh, it's gonna take me a couple hours. I wasn't even playing.
Been standing in water for I don't know how long.
Unbelievable.
You want to sign your shirt?
Yeah, could you sign my chest?
Thank you.
Thanks for having us out, man. We had an absolute blast.
As I headed back home, exhausted after an incredible weekend at Lake Wanapitei, I couldn't help but think, man, what a ride.
You put in a long week, sweating in a factory, swinging that hammer,